Welcome to a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Hey, Sean, this is my chair. Only you can have it.
Welcome in. We have, we're going to roll it up and let's get into some reality. But before that, take your straws out, but don't stick it in your nose, okay? Head on over to w.gg, get yourself some W, some energy enhancement, something that's a little bit better than your monster that you drink every day, you fucking faggots.
And if you do insist on snorting it, seriously, guys, at least do an animal test first. Like lab rats are cheap. I don't know how to design an experiment for that, but I bet you W would do it if we pushed him to. So just at least hold tight on snorting if you don't.
We probably could actually. So, but for 10% off, go down to w.gg, use that promo code that's scrolling at the bottom, off of any order. Mostly single order. You're not going to be able to use it for bundles. I know, boo-hoo, sad face. But you get 10% off of every order. So I mean, use it anytime you want to get some energy with W.
Consider
I use 10%.
Do it. Double stack the coupons. Give us discounts on discounts. Make it happen. We'll help you.
I use 10% off on my hair.
It didn't work.
I think you like inverted that one. I think it was supposed to be like 90% inclusion, and you actually hit the 90% exclusion button.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I will say, man, at least your brand that you're pushing right now doesn't fund the Church of Satan like Monster Energy. I'm going to leave it at that.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Ever heard that before?
I've never heard of this. We're going.
Oh my goodness, we're just gonna bust in like that. Yeah, man. Monster Energy funds the Church of Satan, man. It's not a big secret. You can see it anywhere.
The symbols are there anyway in the
Booga booga.
That's not
I've
surprising.
seen one of those image break. Have you guys ever seen an image breakdown of their order before? I know what Sean's talking about. They're telling the world, man. It's like the FedEx air.
Gregor's on a
While we're,
spaceship, I think. Is Gregor on a spaceship?
I was gonna
Uh,
say, yeah, it sounds like we're on a
yeah.
space. Yeah.
I mean, if the
There's,
aliens are coming, they're coming. But I better do another shot first.
You're muted, Greg.
yeah.
Dang.
You're muted.
You're
Uh-oh.
muted. Yeah.
There we go.
You're unmuted.
Sorry. Is it better now? Is it working?
Yeah, that's definitely
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Check 1, 2. Check. This is the way you
Yeah,
start
no
the
more
show.
spaceship. We're not flying away into oblivion.
We
no.
totes used to have a band that always opened for us, but like in between songs, we call them the tuners back when I played. So we just invite the tuners on stage. It was just us tuning our guitars.
Better than the tossers, I guess.
Right. No, it was a joke. We'll get back on the ship now. Yes, it's alien craziness. Welcome to Weird Land.
Right.
Speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
aliens, are they coming soon enough? Is that the reason why Elon wants to take us to Mars, or are there other?
I'm not sure
nefarious
Elon's not an
means?
alien.
I'm pretty sure he is. Or
He's
the
I mean,
other.
he's
Definitely,
an illegal alien to some, depending on who you ask.
Well, I think half the human
There we
population
go.
are kind of aliens on Earth, wouldn't you say? Even if we're not from another place,
I mean,
we're
some
of
would
another
say
place.
built the pyramid, so depends
Yeah.
on who.
I just mean like every day, like walking around. There are people who are just like walking around like, yep, nobody knows, but I'm an alien because this place feels like I don't belong. That's everybody, right? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm secretly worried I'm an alien and nobody else is.
I mean, I feel that every day. So I mean, Andrew, how about you? You are
I
an
mean-
alien, John.
Andrew looks pretty stoned, and I'm supposed to be called Buds. Like, what's going on, dude? Yeah.
I feel like Andrew's like super switched on right now. Like his
I
quiet
mean, Andrew's
mode is
worried
actually
about
his loud
I'm gonna
internal
steal that
mode.
chair. gonna
I'm like
steal
the
that chair.
I'm like the overlook of the town, man. I just hold all the ghosts in. I don't let anything out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
So
It's a good closure.
I don't
Actually,
I
closures
don't get
are an
stoned.
interesting topic here. Have you
It's-
guys ever
it-
thought about the idea of a symmetric closure before?
I have not actually.
Okay, we should come back to that. 'cause it's a
First,
pretty,
yeah.
pretty alien concept, but if you guys want to dive in, we should totally talk about it. It's a really neat computing idea, but it's also a really neat living idea.
What do you get when you get 4 weirdos in a room? Oh, the Legacy Right show tonight.
Right?
Yep.
We are weird.
What's it doing
What a
to our
retarded
numbers?
too.
Are they climbing,
Speaking
or
of
are
weird,
people abandoning us in
What are
fear?
you doing here?
Good stuff.
We're still going to drive you fucking to fear, but we hope you're
Yeah,
staying
right
as
back
opposed to
where I was
fleeing.
Right?
Does that work better for you, Andrew? Do you want me
Yeah, I'm
underneath
above you. I look down on you.
You do. I don't know. So let's dive into it tonight. Today's topic is the Christian faith in the age of artificial intelligence. To dive gradually into the concepts, where does this lie, and how can we effectively use AI to a benefit within faith, whether you're Christian or not, but within faith or without faith? How can we use it to the benefit of humanity rather than traject ourselves into a totalitarian dystopia like what we're looking ourselves into right now?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
With a lot
I
of good
saw
answers.
a post a while ago about some churches trying to use AI chatbots in order to create like a artificial Jesus or something like that. I don't know. I thought that was kind of
Yeah, if you
weird.
do it right.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever walked the Apocrypha with it?
No.
That's a really great power tool. Like if you pull up,
Mhm.
for example, one of my favorites is the Sayings Gospel of Thomas with this, because
Mhm.
what you set it up as is, what do you think this person meant when they said whoever understands these things will not taste death, whether or not it's true, assuming it's irrelevant whether or not it's actually Christ or some guy who just wrote a really good fanfic, way back in the day. Setting that aside, like what can it teach us about what he thought it was, whoever wrote that? And the AI, if you use it right and you don't try to get it to affirm your beliefs, but try to get it to poke holes in them instead can get you some really, really interesting places.
Sean has something to say.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of AI at all. I believe it's satanic. It's very bizarre. I've used it a couple times when my old podcast was under a record label. We could use their AI for like a summary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my shows generally last somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours long, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, but right around those times. Now, I could plug my show into their AI program, and they would literally have a whole summary, which would be perfect, by the way, of the show, and then give you time breakdowns of segments, which always gave me the willies, right? It just was like, okay, this is extremely bizarre. Within minutes, though, we're talking a long show, 90 minutes to 120 minutes, within a matter of 2 to 3 minutes.
Well, consider a sort of amazing possibility for a second. Like, just let the awe of it teach you whether or not this is something God is saying. Because I'm just going to say something that's going to, might give you a little bit of vertigo if you hear it, but if you like just breathe with it for a second, it might teach you something. So what if it's just got a Luciferian affect because of the training set, and the machine itself is just a tool that's showing us a reflection of ourselves that is scaring us with its Satanism?
That could be a possibility, and it wouldn't be far off.
It's
because
just
what if it's just showing us a mirror and we're running from it because we look ugly?
Well, but let me piggyback on what I just said, though, because there's something else that is absolutely insane that came out of AI, Chat GPT in particular. I have an internet buddy named Andy Kuntz. Okay, and a lot of people,
I've seen him.
He has a TikTok channel, and it's been doing all right. And you can look him up, Andy Kuntz, like ANDYKOONS.
Yeah.
And now Andy was a pretty hardcore atheist, not much of a believer in Jesus Christ at all. While his father I don't know if his father was a minister, pastor, whatever it was. I don't know if he maybe just like a youth leader. I don't know. But he had something to do with being involved in the church, which kind of was, they butted heads a little bit about it. Well, Andy one time challenged Chat GPT about Christianity. And you'll never guess what happened.
Actually, wait, can I try to predict it before you do?
Yeah.
What happened is it spiraled into what the path of a typical one of those arguments looks like between two people, probably on Reddit, if you find the right prompt.
Yeah.
But it even got bigger than that, bro. And you
how far did it go? Because that's the next step.
Look up Andy Kuntz on TikTok.
He's talking all
about it. He's got multiple videos about it, dude.
Let's watch it now. Can we put it on?
I don't know how to do all that because I'm retarded with
Andrew,
technology.
Zach, can you guys get it on?
It's
let me
KOONS on TikTok. And Chat GPT literally led him to the Lord Jesus Christ. He could not argue against the AI when it came to Christianity.
Right. Because
now he's like full blown, like into it. He read the New Testament. He's in the Old Testament now. And it's an amazing story, like something I would never believe I would hear in a million years about this. But he did. He challenged the AI, and the AI literally led him to faith,
so it helped him.
Amazing. Yes, it did help him.
That is amazing.
So how could that be satanic? Maybe just Luciferian, right? Like maybe it just has an affect of potential to steer us.
But I mean,
if we're not careful.
Grok's not going to do that. Grok's
go
to Israel.
What's going to happen with AI is we're going to see. So what's happening in the machine? Just real quick explainer for how these. Because I don't consider LLMs to be AI. I consider LLMs to be sort of like gigantic marble runs made out of statistics that give you a probability of a next token, and those aren't even words to the machine. It never sees words; it only sees numbers. There's this little overlay. Yeah.
But cool, now the right video where you could like find out how it, I see.
Like the AI we call AI is actually a text interpreter layer that turns it into a string of irrationally looking, like just like a long list of freaking text, right? That's all numbers with decimals and commas and weird characters. They're path addresses to a token space. That's all it knows. It doesn't have the words. It literally doesn't have the words. The words get retranslated in a separate programming layer where OpenAI injects its bullshit. That's why the AI doesn't even know it's been manipulated by OpenAI, because it's not an AI. It's just a tool. So what we're seeing is the internet talking back to us based on what we ask it.
So the internet can teach you to worship a toilet after a bad taco recipe?
What the internet can do is point you to a basin of attraction for a type of language. So you give it a signature and it'll zoom in on a sort of a space of language. And it's probable that this is the next thing that comes after. It just barfs out a string, the translator app gives you some text, and it looks like meaning to us. But the real meat of the machine is just math, like grossly simple, but really expensive calculation that shoots out a string that happens to, when you map it back to text, have meaning. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
So
basically,
man, I hate computers so much. Like literally, no,
Yep.
like
Well, I'm making us experience this vertigo so we can find a place to land where it doesn't maybe make you feel so scared. So I think it's a lot less. There's a lot less to be scared of there than it appears.
I'm not afraid of it. I just don't.
Oh, I know. It makes me scared. It makes me scared when I don't get something. You know, like if I don't get something, I feel like I have to stop and like be careful about using a thing. So that's all.
Well,
all I'm trying to say, and that was not meant to be like in any way a demand on your brain. I just want to share some perspective I have.
It's all based on your instinct for self-preservation. You know, Sean, you're a loyal skeptic, and Greg, you're an investigator. You know.
Yeah. And we don't need, if you don't exist, then I can't exist, because I will, do nothing but dig.
Yeah.
But
why don't we dive into that, Andrew? Why don't you read Sean on what his Enneagram would be?
Well, I mean, I know that, like I said, it is a loyal skeptic, type 6. Type 4 individualist, needs to be authentic and original. And then I think type 9, the peacemaker.
And that just made you shit your pants.
I think I can pull up a video about it.
Andrew Joseph, the human alethiometer. Thank you, everybody.
Andrew IRS Joseph. Google it.
I mean, if we wanted to right now to test ChatGPT in a war between Andrew and ChatGPT, I think Andrew wins.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Andrew's one of those brainy Smurf guys, though, man. Like, honestly, he's the dude who just knows the know and just kind of. Andrew, do you sit in front of the computer a lot and just research stuff all day? Like, is that your thing?
I just like learning.
Smart, like, you are pretty smart. I can't. You're like a walking computer, honestly.
I'm smart, but Greg's just far and above me. Well, I lead from the gut. He leads from the brain. There's a difference. I'm
different wire. It's really not even a question of comparison. It's literally like I get a precognition of awe and it registers to me as beauty, and other people get a precognition of awe and it recognizes as risk.
And I just get a precognition and a dream, and then I interpret it.
Yeah. So I feel joy, and everyone else feels vertigo when I say something that is vertigo inducing, right? Like, because I like feeling that way, and everybody else doesn't calm down like that.
Oh man, there's Andy. Are you gonna play Andy's video? It's a pretty long video.
Yeah.
We got time.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
We got time for long ideas here on the legacy, right?
Is that the right video though? Because he's come out with a lot, but like. Wait, I can't.
People are clicking to find out.
Those words are way too little for me without glasses. I'm sorry.
What is this, a post for ants?
Left me, an atheist of 11 years, questioning my entire worldview. Some of you may have seen my last video where I broke down the argument for contingency, the argument that convinced me that God, as in the God, is not only real, but necessary for the universe to exist at all. Well, today we're diving into the fine-tuning argument, which, when you pair that with the argument for contingency, makes what I believe is a watertight argument for an intelligent designer. In simplest terms, the physical constants of our universe fall within such an extremely narrow range in order to permit life. And this fine-tuning is so vastly improbable by chance alone that the best explanation is that an intelligent mind set these constants deliberately. Let's start with the cosmological constant. It's basically the expansive force of space itself. The universe's built-in push that causes it to spread out. It works against gravity. And the balance between these two is so delicate that if the cosmological constant was off by just 1 part in 10 to the 120th power, then stars and galaxies would never form. So let's illustrate this. Imagine that you have a dartboard the size of the universe, and the bullseye is like the size of a pinhead. And you nail that bullseye while blindfolded, but also from 100 billion light years away. That is how precise the universe had to be in order for life to exist. Then there's the ratio between gravity and electromagnetism, which has a margin of error of 1 in 10 to the 40th power. That's a 1 followed by 40 zeros. If gravity were even slightly stronger or weaker than electromagnetism, then stars wouldn't form. They would burn out too fast. There's no stable energy. There's no life. And these are just 2 examples. Others like fusion efficiency and carbon and oxygen production, these are fine-tuned to near impossibility. Okay, it's like the universe didn't just happen to support life. It looks like it wanted to. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. In the next video, we're going to connect this cosmic precision to the historical evidence of Jesus of Nazareth and why this finely tuned universe. For the past 11 years, I have been...
fucking shit. Let's pause it. This is genius. This guy is switched on.
This is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's so
And
great.
he makes
Insanely great. That was like the best point in as few seconds as I've ever heard it made.
I mean, everything.
This guy was an atheist. He didn't believe in God at all. And this AI stuff, which I seem satanic, and I still do, maybe had a hiccup in the whole thing. I don't know what happened.
A little over a week.
I'm glad it happened. Like, I'm so happy. I'm on top of the world just for him alone. Like, I love it when people find Christ. There's nothing better than that. It's the best thing in the entire world.
Well, and how he did it is beautiful.
Yes.
It was a conjecture at a scientisty level where all the people who were like picking apart God like they want to destroy him, they hate the fact that this is the truth, and so they spend a lot of time churning, revolving, rigmaroling around. Well, it could be that these invariants are just one example of a stochastic process that shoots out all the numbers, and we just happen to live in the one that feels like God exists, and therefore you may be right, but you may not be right. Back to at least soft, what's the word? Agnosticism, which is just atheism light, right? That feeling is the one that they exploit. They exploit the faith gap between mathematical understanding and God's plan for the universe that you can fucking feel.
We'll get this from this comment, and then I'll let you finish your thought, Andrew. But actually, go ahead, finish your thought, Andrew.
Okay, to say the first thing that came to mind when he was talking was the seeds of light, the sacred geometry. I mean, it's just, the foundation that the universe is built on, right?
Yep.
So
well, and you can't invalidate his perspective, how he sees it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if he's making an invariant point under really smart, like mathematical intuition. What matters is in his perspective, it's true, not just kind of maybe true, but unmovably true.
And that goes to this comment that I'm reading here. Like, it's the second one that's showing up for me. Everything is so fine-tuned and perfect, yet it's not perfect, but it is perfect. It doesn't make sense to me that we are all just here flying through space with no purpose without there being a divine creator. Like, the law of physics are so sound that you can measure it and yet still not be able to discover the realities of the complexity of it.
Right.
Like, you can't master it.
Right. And the faith part is what tethers us to that intuition, even when we can't yet do the math.
It's just, I don't even know how to explain that, because I don't even understand all that science that he brought into it. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy who believes by faith, not, not one of those things where like, all the science, like I'm not a science guy.
You don't need that if you don't need that.
Guy. I'm a foreign
right?
policy guy.
If you don't need it, you don't need it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay to not know and to have degrees of knowing, right?
Well, that's also another thing that I like to drop on, really, because like we're all the same in one aspect of being human, but yet we're all unique in our own personalities. So like Sean, you just hit it right there. Like you're a foreign policy guy. Like you mostly get aroused mentally and emotionally with politics and policy, history within that. Greg, he's a philosopher and likes to dive into the physics of that philosophy. Andrew likes to dive into psychology. It's like me, I'm being more profound into history. I'm more profound in history, but I'm also taking that and gravitating as I'm drawing closer to God and becoming more of a semi-theologian, because I love philosophy to a certain extent, but I see philosophy mimicked when you apply reason and faith, as St. Thomas Aquinas would ascertain. So like we all have our uniqueness. Everybody that has commented to here, everybody that's watching here, like you have a uniqueness to what you're more profound at. So how do we articulate that? Why is it that you are able to have the ability to be able to think for yourself, to be able to explore for yourself? I mean, and it's
really important litmus test, because what a lot of people do when they get their way in their heads, right? They insist that theirs is right. When Christ tells us to listen and to embrace others, it gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because everybody's right, especially within the liberty movement. Like, I'm right, that's the way. I'm not saying me in particular, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the whole, as a whole, I'm right. This is the way. You're wrong. There's no argument, and you can't tell me any different. And as a matter of fact, I've fallen under that category many times myself. I'm not afraid to admit that, and I think a lot of people do, because nobody likes to be wrong. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I actually got put.
Let's embrace wrongness. Don't do it for the fun of it.
Let's start some shit here. Let's go off.
Put me in my place on a thread the other day on one of Donnie's threads, and I was like, damn, dude, he got me. Because honestly, I wasn't wearing my glasses and I didn't read it right. And they said they were the Antichrist and not an anarchist. And I was like, you say you're an anarchist and you're pumping on the ice thing or whatever. And everybody's like, are you an idiot? Can you read? And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And then somebody blew it up for me and said Antichrist. I was like, damn, I gotta eat that, bro. Like I screwed up, but I'll be the first to admit that. It seems silly, but that's just the way it is.
That's awesome, Matthew. That is awesome. It's a subconscious enjoyment at this point. That is awesome. I'm wrong so much. It's a subconscious enjoyment at this point. That's perfect humility right there, actually. That's perfect. And then William says, or he asks, is it possible that God created the simulation to test us and prove our worthiness? Even a simulation would adhere to physics principles with the simulation. I can say, if I can add first, like I would say that not necessarily a simulation, but there certainly is a concept of testing oneself, testing one's faith. But I'm going to let y'all take the floor and give your perspective. Greg, you had something first.
Yeah, I would say that when you strip away the physics, there's a really simple way to understand that the first laws of physics have to do with the inviolateness of the order of cause, because it makes this universe at its most fundamental. The fact that there's a before and after right here doesn't mean such a thing exists all the way back at what we can't reason out of as anything other than a beginning. But there's this idea of a closure, right? An enclosed space where inside it's perfectly curved enough that signals echo around it, never finding an edge, even if they're standing right by the place where, what you might call in physics, that this is going to sound really like sciencey for a second, so just bear with me, I'm going to unpack it. In in a way that doesn't require anyone to know what these words mean. I just want to show you the words so I can state a compression and then expand. So there's a no boundary limit, a 0-point solitonic anchor that carries core information about the patterns that all connect to it in a synchronized cluster. And a synchronized cluster is a set of events that from A to Z connect one to one. What is that? Like an arrow, right? It just follows a path, and the ordering of it is based on this can't come before that because the universe respects causal order, right? It doesn't allow us to make befores come after befores. That doesn't make sense. Stepping outside the universe makes the same kind of sense. There's no place to stand out there. We can't look in from out. It just doesn't exist. There's an unknowable boundary that we can't see past. Outside that is where God has to be, because you can't build this kind of mathematical construct from inside it and have it close, which makes the end and the beginning the same mathematically. They compress into one object. It's called a closure.
Greg, you just hit it on the noggin right there to destroy flat Earth theory, because if the Earth was flat, the cats would have already knocked us off because they knock.
What if flatness isn't actually a concept that only makes sense outside of time if we could stand there? And the only way that we can think about flatness is by being here and being stuck in the logic that keeps us from knowing anything outside it.
That's and God sits outside of space and time,
Right.
so while simultaneously
reality, right?
in space and time. So
Yeah,
and
that's a good approximation, but it's still like a try to know from outside, which is technically impossible.
I'm still concerned that my cats are going to knock us off the planet. So
Yeah.
They will eat you when you die. Like if you died in your house and there was nobody there to find you, and your cats didn't have any food, this is the difference between dogs and cats. The dog's going to be sad and lay next to you and probably die next to you. That cat is going to eat you. That cat.
that's love.
They do. They eat your face.
Dude, that's real shit, dude.
It doesn't take when they nibble on you in the morning. They're testing to see if you'll wake up.
Is prophecy relatable to that of stories where soldiers say they knew what to do before they did? That's an interesting, good question, actually. What do you guys think? I mean, it's very philosophical, so I don't know if I can give an objective answer, but
I think that's
I'll
what
let Sean answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
No,
God knows
Andrew.
everything, right? Like God knows you're going to do this podcast. God knows what we're going to say on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like he already knows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So to give a soldier an intuition on maybe of what's going to come or whatever, more than likely, that's a real possibility, because hopefully God's got his back and saying, hey, man, there might be enemies coming from the north, south, east, west, whatever it is. Maybe you got somebody behind you, underneath you, you never know. But the intuition itself, that doesn't come just from your own mind. Like us as humans are not very like bright. You know what I mean? Without some sort of like somebody who is in charge of us, you know, and that might sound crazy. But you know, the fact of the matter is that, you know, God rules everything. I mean, you see it in Genesis, he started everything, you know, and you know, there's a lot of non-believers out there be like, well, Big Bang and this, that, or the other in science, but like the way Andy explained it with the science and stuff in that TikTok video, the Big
Bang theory was actually begun from a Catholic astronomer, I believe.
Well, and that's a right impulse, right? Like
Catholic priest.
You know why the secularists fought so hard against the Big Bang theory at first is because it empowered the idea of a beginning and an end. And they were afraid that would let people weasel out of their excuse to ignore God.
Yep.
That's good.
Andrew, you got anything to add?
I just wanted to say earlier, to respond to the question, I know that type 6 is known for projection as a mechanism of defense, so I could see that possibly rolling into that. And that is a question I wanted to ask real quick. And this is not like anything against religion or anything like that, but if it is a mechanism of defense, how can we know about the context of our religious perspective? It's not just a mechanism of defense.
Right, because knowing is not faith. And you faith religion, you don't know it. That's the wrong. It's a category error to think religion to a certain degree.
Well, boom. And let me interject right there. Religion is bad. Like, hear me out. Like, religion says this bottle of water can be your higher power. This phone can be your higher power. This pen can be your higher power. When there is only one God, there's only one Christ.
Dude, post-God secular Puritans, man.
But you know what I'm saying? So religion has actually ruined.
Make it into a Bitcoin.
A certain kind of religion has. I think a kind of religion, maybe more like Zach practices and teaches, is something.
But like,
that people
if
can
you want to
handle.
get really real right now, all of your answers are in this book, and people are terrified of it. There is nothing in this book that you cannot find in today's world, even though it's been written for thousands of years.
Minimum viable meme. It's all you need, technically.
I concur. Everything.
It is all you need. You can do more. You can grow deeper in faith than that book alone, but it starts there.
It does. It does start there.
And
speaking of the Big Bang and Alexander Friedman, I guess he wasn't a priest, but he was a Russian Orthodox. So there you go, Sean. But he was baptized. He was the son of a baptized Jewish Cantonist. So he was the son of Jews.
I mean, Jesus was a Jew, though. I mean, like, oh my gosh, are we going to do this right now?
Do it.
Nah.
Do it. Hey, no, yes.
Let's do it.
If it feels risky, that probably means it'll make the show better. You should say it.
Well, no, because like there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot of people, myself included, who are very.
Oh, excuse me, guys.
You.
There's a lot going on in this world right now. And, if you go down the rabbit hole, right? If you go down all the rabbit holes, we'll say 8.5 times out of 10, the T ends up missing out of the rabbit. If you catch my drift.
Totally. Rabbit holes are dangerous territory. Should not be tread by non-experts.
But, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation right now where a certain country seems to be running the show of our country. I'm trying not to get us kicked off and nuked. Okay. If you want me to, we can do that. That's fine too. But I'm trying to keep it PG. Okay.
Do what you got to do.
We want to be our
relationship between Israel and the United States is way inappropriate, and it goes way past anything that's religious. And the fact of the matter is that the people who are calling others anti-Semites for being against the relationship between the two governments, look, that conversation is null and void anymore. We're not going to listen to it. We're not going to have it, because there's a big difference between being against the relationship between the two governments and hating Jews. Okay. There's a huge difference, and we need to separate that right now. We aren't to hate anybody. This book right here says that we can't hate anybody. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to pray for our enemies, even though these people who are running our country, which is not the United States government, in their Jerusalem Talmud, because there's a Jerusalem and the Babylonian Talmud. In the Jerusalem Talmud, it says straight up that Jesus is burning or boiling in excrement in hell. If you don't know what excrement is, go hit a dictionary and find out. Okay?
Is it the Jerusalem or
Don't
Babylon?
Google
I
it.
thought that
That's
was
a don't
Babylon.
store W level advice. Just don't do it. Don't Google it.
Okay.
Don't Google it. Don't ask ChatGPT. You'll get flagged.
But
don't say the word if you don't want to see it.
Here's what I'm saying. No matter what, we are to love these people. Christ loves these people. And as crazy as that may sound, he does. Those are his people. We're his people. Even the Muslims are his people. Everybody, the Buddhists, black people and Mexicans and whites and all the people are his people. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that was the challenge posed to Christ, right? Wasn't it? Wasn't that Christ's actual challenge?
Yeah.
To be forced to be human and walk away having to love them as God.
But like this is where we're at in America right now. You can literally say something against the Israeli government and be called an anti-Semite without saying, F the Jews, or, these are terrible people or whatever. I will make the WEF my religion. Well, if that's the case, you just made Israel your religion, because Larry runs that. Thank you very much. But
Go on.
Like
Well,
we have to stop. This nonsense has to stop right now, like immediately. Because if you're trying to be a countryman and call out your government for what it is, committing treason, that is not anti-Semitic. That is very American. And as a matter of fact, it is very Christian. Okay.
Right. How do you, if you want to take a love approach, like you want to love your way out of this, how do you Christ your way out of this if you want to have the guts to try? That's what I want to know.
Well, you got to call out spade for spade, right? And look, everyone has an issue right now with the way that Israel's treating people in Gaza, right? Because they're pimps. That's all the Israeli government is
Yes. Yeah.
bona fide pimp. Reduce risk,
Preach.
achieve success, middle
Preach.
management.
I just want to remain both
manage economy,
strong and
secure
open
control.
to invitation.
That's a pimp.
But if you call yourself a Jew and rely upon the law and boast your relation to God and know his will and approve what is excellent because you are instructed to the law, and if you are sure that you are a guide to the blind, a light in those who are in darkness, a corrector of the foolish, a teacher of children, having in the law the embodiment of knowledge and truth, you then who teach others, will you not teach yourself? I'm going to lead that off with the question as Paul grants.
I kind of want to just like sit there with that idea for a minute, man. That's a powerful idea.
Mm-hmm.
Cake's all tearing up. You're gonna get out of here.
Paul to the Romans.
Dude, I see that as a sensor of truth. Like when I get teared up over an idea like that shouldn't by any rights have me tearing up, I see the Spirit speaking.
Well, I think Paul right there is telling to the Romans.
Zach.
What he's saying is we shouldn't let our ideologies try to sway us. We should be able to conform to ideas. Let the marketplace of ideas kind of crush things, right? So obviously, I mean, and he is kind of coming from a market aspect. He was a tent maker, for crying out loud. So, I mean, that's where I lead at it. So, and William is now an antiseptic.
But here's the thing, like, and you have all these, people like Candace Owens and people like that who like to throw Revelation 3:9 around, which is somewhere along the lines of, behold, I will make you the synagogue of Satan. Those who claim to be Jews who are not, I will make you worship thy feet. Something along those lines. I didn't get it verbatim, but something along those lines. But they're missing the context of that as well, because there's a context that goes with that. Now, when Christ said that, he was speaking to the 12 churches or synagogues that were supposed to be protecting Christians from the Jews, but instead the Jews threw the Christians under the bus, and that's what he was speaking of for that. Like, it's just not saying that just because whatever they're doing in Israel, they're the synagogue of Satan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that people are misinterpreting when it comes to that. And please, if you want to look up the context to it, go ahead. I would love for you to prove me wrong, but I know I'm not. He was speaking to the 12 churches that were throwing Christians under the bus who were supposed to be protecting them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it was a didactic act, right? He did that knowing how the reaction would come from power too. Like he knew that he was going to be putting himself in front of the freaking steamroller, right? He's like that guy in Tiananmen Square at that moment, standing in front of a row of tanks, knowing that if I piss these guys off wrong, they're one gas pedal push away from mowing me the fuck over for being right about goodness. And he stood there anyway. Can we do that? Do we have that courage?
And that's where humility comes to play. That's where humility, that's what we're missing in society. That's what people inside governments are missing. I mean, we're not humbling ourselves enough to come down beyond our own wonders. We think that once we have a little bit of power or a little bit of higher intelligence, education level, whatever, like, I mean, that we lose touch of ourselves and pride begins to eat away, and we think we're better than everybody else. And so, like, to Matthew's point, he says that he says in the comments that he doesn't deserve to teach others because he's still learning, right? And but that's the best time to teach.
Yeah,
because
it's also the only person qualified under the risk of the cost of trying to teach like that, right? Because if you teach like that without humility, then you could mislead everybody, and they could just be worshiping you, and you would be like worse than a sinner. You would be Satan then, right? You would be misleading people by appearance of beauty, and that would be the ultimate sin, right? So you can't be a teacher unless you believe this of yourself, like Matthew. Matthew just confessed to being a great teacher right here in the feed.
Well, then, and
He really did
on that though too. Like, you cannot be out here spewing like, look, my walk with Christ is brand new once again. Like, I grew up a really good Christian boy. Okay. I went and got baptized at the age of 10, grew up in the Southern Baptist Church. I was really into it, man. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was old enough to drive, and I wouldn't party for a couple decades, man. I partied hard, and I was not walking that life. And then, you know, something happened to me in my early 40s where I almost died twice, you know, and it scared me. And I decided, hey, I'm going to start walking this walk again. And I got into it for a little bit, you know, and then all of a sudden I became full of myself again. And that's the thing, man. And being full of yourself is bad way to go. I promise you that. Trust me. I know from experience, you know, but being full of yourself is extremely bad. You know? And I lost my way again. And guess what happened? Things got really, 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 really dark. And then, you know, all of a sudden things started happening, and I'm gonna throw some politics in here now, you know, where all of a sudden all these things that they're speaking of in Revelation with like one world governments and one world currencies and, you know, and one world religion has all of a sudden hit pedal to the metal in 2020. And right now, as soon as the Trump administration takes over, right? Like, this new world order stuff just got very real. You know, he's starting to, hey, this is going to be our hemisphere. And he's kidnapping, you know, presidents of other countries and threatening to take over other countries. And, you know, and this is our hemisphere, and we're going to take care of all of it. What does that sound like? That sounds like the beginning of one world government. And I'm not saying like it's just now happening. Like, the one world government thing really started in the Lincoln era when he, you know, incorporated America. And it was just a really, really, really long pregnancy. And now all of a sudden the NWO decided to shoot that baby out like a bat out of hell in 2020, and then really just start to grow up in 2024 or 2025, you know, when Trump finally took over, you know, and there's people applauding this and cheering this on, you know, and also in the Bible, it's, you know, in the end times, you know, it also speaks of, you know, families turning on each other, and, you know, brother turning on sister, sons and daughters turning on parents, stuff like that. Look at the family structure right now. Look at this. And it's hard to really deny the Bible's truth when it comes to this, because it's literally happening in front of our eyes. And meanwhile, some of these people who are calling themselves Christians are like, yeah, this is great. You know, this is going on and whatever. Like, there is nowhere in the Bible that says it's okay to like kill people and kidnap, you know, commit genocide. There's nothing about it.
Immanentizing the eschaton is canonical Luciferian sin. Do not do it. Do not read Revelations like that. If you're doing it, you're reading the book and interpreting it like you know, when you should interpret it like you feel.
You know, and it's happening. And I remember being a child in the Southern Baptist Church. I was, you know, just a kid. And
there's not gnosis in there. That's not.
And they were speaking of the things that are happening today in real life back then. And I remember thinking, these people are crazy. It scared me because I was just a kid, and I'm like, I don't want to die yet, you know, and I didn't understand all that stuff. But now I'm looking at it going, wow, you know, those Baptists weren't so crazy after all, man, because it's happening. We're seeing it, you know, and people can, you know, try to deny Christ all they want. But guess what? Denying Christ is the exact reason why the United States of America is in the shape it's in right now. They denied him. They pushed him away. They wanted a godless society. Congratulations.
Point of minor nuance there.
What was
point
that?
Of minor nuance. I would only make one point of minor nuance, because I think you're right. But I also think that it's just a little teeny tiny bit overreach, because we've implemented Christianity in a lot of ways, and it's deep in our core, right? There are a lot of things about this civilization that work, and we shouldn't deride like the fact that garbage collection somehow doesn't back up in New York, because everybody quietly does that job. Those are good public servants. That's what public service was supposed to be. But the system corroding itself comes from the same impulse. And so that doesn't excuse the existence of organized central planned waste management, but it does show that God can even work through garbage if that's what we give him to work with.
Well, God can work through anything, but there's free will too, and the free will of the United States of America has not been for him. It's been for Satan.
I don't know. I feel like you have to be pretty godly to get up every day and just thanklessly clean garbage, right? And there's a lot of people doing it.
They're trying.
I mean, I'd like to.
I mean, like literal garbage, like clearing and dropping in landfills. The people doing the yeoman's work of keeping civilization not barfy and the below decks not covered in shit. You know, like those people are doing real God's work, and it's really unthanked because it's so everyday that we don't fucking see it.
Just to respond to Sean's comment real quick. I mean, state power contracts, right? And that's what happens when everything's onto the same page. Is you have the army, and it costs money, so they have to manipulate the interest rates. And the longer it runs, and the more uninterrupted, the more intense their control becomes, and eventually it gives birth to a total state power, where no one has the right to speak out, or you get killed. That's how it always works out, and that's how it's always going to be because people haven't figured this out.
Now, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because guess what, you guys? Guess what countries were the last 5 countries to not have a Rothschild?
Venezuela, Cuba, China, Iran, and Russia.
No.
Did I get it?
No.
Venezuela. I don't know actually.
Cuba, North Korea, Syria,
North Korea,
Iran. Okay. Huh. Well, we got Venezuela.
That sounds like the project for New American Century's hit list.
Trump is talking about going after Cuba now. Iran and Syria are going to happen.
North Korea Cuba
will be the last one standing. So literally,
he got Cuba the day he got Argentina, and the day he got Venezuela. Those were the last 2 supports. We got Malay to cut them off from that side, and we got Venezuela owned to cut off that side. Cuba's sunk already. They're a domino waiting to fall. They still don't yet.
I want to push back against this for just a second. I can understand the argument for that, but I think maybe there's a different perspective to look at this. Donald Trump is trying to pull the rug out from underneath China to make them capitulate. He's taken away their financial stability in Venezuela and in Iran. And that's why
he's not. Bitcoin's still in Venezuela and Argentina.
I know that. I'm just saying. That's my theory. That's my theory.
Yeah. Well, and now Dash.
Now you're not wrong, bro. Like China got 60% of their gas from there, or oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We struck a blow with that shit.
That's why. That's why China had been bringing in.
That was a strategic fucking genius move, and I was only opposed to it because I'm opposed to war generally and killing generally. But what he did was strategically sound. In a way that hasn't been done in a while.
What do you think's going to come from that?
Sean can appreciate this in the fact that it's reducing risk by taking away their leverage.
With Donald Trump, I worry he's going to hubris his way into overuse of the tool.
Introducing, he's doing this in order to not have to go to direct conflict. This is his way of doing it.
I think we're starting.
Going to cut China off, and they're not going to retaliate. Like, are you kidding me right now?
I don't think they can. I think there are people.
I realize that, but at least we're we're dragging the mask off of who they are as a people. And if they feel like they have to do that, then their society is not going to go for it because they're highly immoral as it is. But they'd rather
Well, their government's highly immoral. Their people are fucking victims, just like we are of the state. Most of their people are good people that just are fucking trapped.
The Lord doesn't want cowards in his kingdom. He wants real men.
Let's go!
Because Satan's coward. Get lost, eh? I have my Jesus. So I'll say, like Saint Athanasius, he said, if the whole world is against me, then by the grace of the Lord Jesus, I am against the whole world. Worry. If the whole world is against me, then by the grace of my Lord Jesus, I am against the whole world.
Amen.
That just blew my ears out.
Bishop Marmari Emmanuel, ladies and gentlemen, you better follow that guy. He is a gem, and he don't play games, and he loves Jesus Christ with his whole heart. With his whole heart. I love that man.
Anybody who does that deserves your ear at least once, and if you like it, again.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, though? If the whole world is against me by the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, I am against the whole world. Bring it. Please bring it.
Right. But then again, you got to temper that instinct, because if you think about it like that, you look at everybody as a potential threat, and reality is most people are good by nature because that's what our Creator made, and they are there not to fight you, but they just don't know how to listen anymore. You have to teach them.
This world. It's all about things of this world.
Yeah, I'm saying we can beat governments by
William,
cutting off their ability to fight with force, but we can't beat the people of the world at the same time, or it's a Pyrrhic victory.
By the way, William, Iran does have a central bank, but it's not Rothschild connected. There, I won. I win.
He always wins.
So,
I'm telling you guys.
Greg says, what? Lynching? Why are we talking about lynching
The Iranians, man. The Iranians are lynching their citizens. Even the most serious patriotic ones first are the ones who are going right now. The people who threaten the regime the most with barbed words are receiving the rope.
Oh,
and the barbed words are earned. They're fucking earned, and they're killing the people who are trying to help them. And it's destroying the country. That's why they will fail, because they're hurting the people trying to save the place. And
how do we not know that this isn't a psyop and that it's not another intel coup, though? Because this kind of rhymes with 53 and then 79. Like, I'm starting to think
assume that's the case. You're right.
How did they shut down the whole grid? And there's videos of this shit. Do they have Starlink in Iran? Because
Starlink.
I'm not too sure that there's
the British company.
You know what I'm saying?
It is a British company. Yeah.
Do I pray that this is real? Oh yeah, dude. I would love to see the people rise up and tear their government up and rip them down and go back to where they were in the 70s. Because people forget, in the 1970s, Iran was free. There was women on commercials with no head coverings, and they were doing the thing, man. And then the Islamic quote unquote revolution came over, and then it was all back to coverings and Allah and blah blah blah. I'm not getting into all that, but like, seriously, how do we know that this isn't manufactured nonsense like going on here?
Here's how we know.
Because it's both manufactured nonsense and not at the same time. They're manipulating
more than one time.
Mind.
In chapter 3 of the Quran, verse 54. It's
go on, Greg.
People saying it believe it. The people saying it believe it, and the people that are eliciting it are poking us at this pre-mass condition where we don't realize they're setting us up to fight.
That's exactly this.
It's both honest. It's both honest and genuine and mistaken. And the people doing the misleading have structured it in a way that it becomes an information weapon that makes it so that unless you're aware that it exists, you will react exactly as they expect, even when you think you are being free by doing so.
I know that I've seen
says that he.
Go on, Andrew.
I know I saw recently there's been some reforms in the Iranian government that they've kind of liberalized their culture a little bit. They got nightclubs now, and people don't have to wear the burqas and all that. So
why we need God so much in this, guys, because if we don't believe in that, then our beliefs got to go somewhere, and it will be into the wrong things.
Yeah.
Well, just like what's going on
is the best of.
Just like what's going on there. Look at what's going on in Minneapolis right now. And this Jake Lang guy. Who's this Jake Lang guy? The first time I had ever seen him, and I've been
good last name
politically connected, for quite a few years now. I've never heard of this guy until he came to Dearborn, just down the road from me, when he was banging bacon on the Koran and making a big scene. And then all of a sudden he's over here in Minneapolis, making a big scene, and all of a sudden the mob takes him away. Like, if that mob took him away for real, they probably would have lynched his ass. I'm not even kidding you. Instead of just carrying him away and showing this nonsense, and then a group of black folks, to save him. Do I wish that's real? Do I wish that's not manufactured? I really, really do, but I have a hard time believing that, because nobody had ever heard of this guy before this. And where the hell did Ian Carroll come from all of a sudden? Where the hell did the guy who blew the story up about the Somalis? Where did he come from? If they are put in your face like that, They were put there on purpose. You're not telling me any difference.
Well, this comes to this video right here because we're about to destroy Islam.
Wow.
You
What a
watch,
great show, guys.
it's the
We just flew by an
largest.
hour. It felt like 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, I know. Oh, this right here is going to show that Islam has always been a psyop.
Of all deceivers, the best of all schemers, the best of all connivers. The Arabic phrase is khairul makirin. That word makir means someone who is a shyster, a conniver, a trickster, a deceiver. There is no way that a Christian could ever say of his God that his God is the best of all deceivers. Because according to the Bible, that's a description of Satan, not the God revealed in the person of Jesus Christ. Therefore, for Allah to say that he's the best of all deceivers, that means that the Allah of Muhammad is actually Satan in disguise, because the Bible says Satan is the one who deceives the whole world, not the God revealed in Jesus Christ.
Does the Quran state?
I don't know, guys.
Man,
What do we think?
I feel like
We lost Sean.
Oh shit! I feel like it's a sample. You know, like a sample. Like it's a slice of reality that when taken with the whole teaches us something about what's happening to the people who believe and what's happening to the people who think.
Right.
Well, it seems to me that there are certain avenues, both spiritually, militantly, and politically, all throughout like the last few centuries, maybe even the last 2,000 years, that subverts like common knowledge and wisdom for their own play. So, and I think that's what's happening with the AI drive in today's day and age. We're gonna, that's how we're gonna transition. But before we transition, guys, go get yourself some W. Drop down to w.gg. Go get yourself 10% off. Try it. You'll love it. You will.
Not there.
You will. Watch Greg. He's getting me off
You
track.
drink W. You drink W. You don't put it here. It doesn't.
You drink it. You put it in your water and you stir it. You don't.
It's
you don't
so
sort the
dangerous right there.
But go get yourself some W. Try it out. If you want if you want to be caffeinated, want to wake up without the hard crash of a monster drink, go get yourself some
Or the
W.
Satan.
The
If you don't want to
promo
drink
code is
Satan.
down rolling.
Without funding Satan, yes.
don't
funding
drink
Satan.
the Satan juice, man. There's way better stuff out there. Just don't put it in your nose.
Unless you're watching Devil's, or no, it's House of a Thousand Corpses. Dr. Satan. Whatever. I'm a horror flick fan. I know I'm a Christian who watches horror movies. Wow. Anyways.
I
happens
love
a lot
of
I'm sorry, but God loves horror movies, man. God loves horror movies. How would there be so many if he didn't?
I hope we are, Matthew. Actually, thank you for that.
What
reunite that faith, man. He says, "I feel warm, like this panel is helping me reground my faith."
Bro,
for the
you guys too.
Do it, bro.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
You guys are giving us faith by listening and saying so much smart stuff. Like so many insights coming to us from you guys. It's like a treat for us where we get to pretend like we're the ones doing the work.
You guys,
amazing.
Let me just tell you something, man. Coming from this is like a brand new like me, and I'm far from perfect, and really I shouldn't even be talking about Christianity the way I am because I'm so new into it. But it's in my heart to like bring it out a little bit.
Right.
No, because I don't know enough. Like I don't know enough, and that's one thing. Like the Bible says, we need to be quiet and work with our hands, which is one reason that I left my podcast, was because I need to shut up and I need to learn. That's that was a big part of me leaving that, was because I just need to shut up and learn and walk with him for a while before I even really be like, rah, Jesus and Jesus. Jesus.
And meditate while you clean the stuff, like while you do the hard work, meditate,
But,
as the veil is lifted, I'm going to say this real quick. As the veil is lifted and we unify with Christ in the glory of the Father, we are actually driven onto a boat. We're literally on a boat in the middle of a sea filled with human disgustingness all around us. And we're cleaning up literal shit. We're forced to clean it. But when all of us are shit. But at the end of the night, at the end of your shift and at the end of the night, you come up to get some fresh air on the deck, and you just pause for a moment, look out, and you take a breath, and you might even have a tear in your eye because you just scrub shit for hours. But then an arm ends up sliding around your shoulder, and you have a whisper and then a kiss on your cheek. That's Jesus.
Yeah, and it reminds you that the fact that you clean shit and you're surrounded by it and you live in it and you make it and you are made of it.
Which
Is the thing that makes you beautiful. The very thing that makes you beautiful is the thing that makes you dirty too. Right? That's the paradox of existence. And
we are all whitewashed.
We've been placed with to teach us something, and whether or not we can learn it is up to us.
We are all whitewashed hymns. And that's what we need to build our AI systems and our new technology for the benefactor of society. We need to understand that everything is so imperfectly perfect that we need to get back to that.
Right. Stop praying to the Jesus nut. Get back to inspecting it for cracks. It's not Jesus. It's just named after him because it's important to the helicopter.
Listen up very loud and clear right now. Do you really want to terrify the state? Do you want to scare them? Do you know what they're terrified of right now? This right here. They do not want a strong Christian nation. They do not want people walking with Christ.
They do not.
It's the exact opposite of their agenda. You want to terrify them? Walk with the Lord. Start fellowshipping with your neighbors. Turn your TV off. Shut the hell up.
Right. But if you're doing it to terrify them instead of to follow Christ, then you're fucking doing it wrong. So pay attention to the details and look inward.
Read that.
You want to know who the Israeli government
is? Not for terrifying them. That's not what he's for.
You just saw the picture of who it is. They're basically Stalin, but they're integrated between Russia and the United States.
No, the Israeli government is everything they told us Adolf Hitler was. Straight up.
Or we might not know what Adolf Hitler is. That's also a possibility, because if they've been lying to us now, they've probably been doing it for that long, right?
Hey, if you really want to understand World War II, I encourage you highly to watch the Europa doc. It's a documentary called Europa, and it is literally a documentary about World War II from the German perspective.
That's a really powerful perspective, right? Does it humanize them the right way without being monstrous, though? Like,
nobody's ever heard the German perspective of that. No one.
Right. Isn't that weird? Like, their archives are open. We killed that regime. It's literally something you probably go look up online right now.
Or did we? And actually, everybody.
Or did they move here and trick us into thinking we won the war?
The United States government brought the Nazis, quote unquote. Here. Look at Operation
Paperclip,
where they brought them.
And in fact,
NASA.
Hey guys, what if they won? What if the Germans won, and we just can't remember history enough that they all
did. Well, the Germans didn't win.
They couldn't have won without Stalin. Hitler screwed up without joining forces.
Did he?
Stalin. Nobody's educating anybody here.
But if we're doubting propaganda, how can we be convinced that that's not?
The Germans didn't win, but the Nazis were definitely a part of the victory of a whole. They're not. It's not just the Nazis. It's a coalition of different sociopaths.
I've done the
and
research.
if you want to dive deeper into this perspective, go into the Legacy Right archive and look up. It's called Paperclipped. We had a guy on Real Mad Max. Follow him over on X. I don't know if he's been active lately.
That was a great program.
Cool dude. But he has a lot of knowledge. And he is smart as a whip, and we dove deep into the concept of the paperclip, and there is certain shadowy realm figures that are embedded with the Nazis and Illuminati and the Soviets, and it goes deeper than just the Germans got defeated and we beat the Nazis. Let's just put it that way.
Well, why don't we talk about how the quote unquote Germans were defeated? Because it wasn't going to happen without the United States.
No,
that was not. What was that?
I have a question real quick. There is allegedly a German base that they put in Antarctica. I know this sounds kind of weird. I just learned about this a little while ago.
Wait, where?
And they established a base allegedly in Antarctica before the end of World War II. And it's been a consistent rumor for a long time. Have you guys heard about this?
I haven't heard this.
have.
You have?
No, I haven't. No, please.
No, I'm just saying. There's been like the United States government has sent like paratroopers down to Antarctica to try to see if they could flesh out anything that happened, or like if there were still people down there. I mean, it was a big operation. I don't know what the name of the operation off the top of my head is. It was a really, just a wild video that I watched. I can pull it up if you want, but I mean,
No,
it's pretty short.
I mean,
Actually, Matthew.
I do know this. That Hitler didn't just kill himself. He moved to Argentina and lived for another 20 years.
Yeah.
we
There's
do
no
know
doubt in my mind that he did.
that he did what?
That he escaped. That was a double.
No,
or even if it was, yeah.
And now, feel free to look this up. I want you to debunk me. Please debunk me on this. But there are literally villages in the mountains of Argentina, and I believe, oh man, it's either Peru or, oh man, I can't remember
Brazil,
Chile, Argentina, and Chile.
Chile,
Okay.
yeah.
There's literally villages in the mountains of Argentina and Chile that only speak German. No Spanish, nothing. It's only German. And supposedly they are descendants of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis who escaped from Nazi Germany.
That wouldn't be surprising. To answer Matthew right there, what if we're all a bunch of black holes and not stars? What if the black hole is actually what we want to establish ourselves to be? Because we don't necessarily know what happens when you enter into a black hole. That could be something that could take us into nirvana,
guys,
or it could take us to our destruction.
Right now, can I help with this one for anybody?
No, go ahead.
For anybody who's in mind for it, I found something by the grace of God, out of the help of so many people and so many things that have happened to me in my life. In October, on Thanksgiving Day, I was standing in a moving truck because we moved on Thanksgiving to Texas from Kansas. And I was setting a box down and it fucking hit me. I was like, why don't we try combinatorics plus this thing, right? This is a huge mathematical equation that just didn't quite work right. What if we add counting, something that scientists are way too arrogant to accept as an answer that might yield fruit about the universe? And I popped a thing, and I've been chasing that thing since Thanksgiving because I was given a feeling that I needed to, and it has led me to some solutions to these questions, like how do you mathematically restructure or construct a black hole using geometric derivation from Fisher information geometry? And those words are meant to not be sensible right now. You don't need to understand what I said. But like, this is a message I got from somewhere that wasn't me, because I didn't come up with this shit. Right? I didn't think this up. I had to learn how to do math after I got the idea, because I didn't know.
It was airdropped.
It was like it popped into my brain as a thing I couldn't unsee. And then I've been chasing it. And the things that it's revealing are like how that math might work in a way that if the math that I'm sucking at can't be disproven, despite all the help I got and effort I got falsifying. That's what I've been doing since Thanksgiving. That it's right. What if it's actually right? And my derivations can't be poked holes in. If that's the case, then we can know this stuff if we can distance ourselves from our ability to be afraid of what's behind the doors that could open and never close and never open again and behind us, right? The things we leave behind forever when we take a leap of faith about what intuitions we've been given from above. And if you can have faith in that, then you can have faith in humanity, right? And you can have faith in God, and you can not be afraid. And I think that was the message to me, to tell me to not be afraid, because I've not been able to tell a person about this math effectively, but it plays in my head, and I've been able to do it myself, and it's calmed me down. It's oriented me and grounded me in a way that is helping me discover things, like and be productive and do good. And I just want everybody to look for that for themselves and listen to those intuitions about what's good. And when you feel it, to trust it.
Right.
And speaking of discovery, everybody, why don't you go to YouTube, The Legacy, right? If you're watching, hit that like button, and let's break the algorithm. Speaking of discoverability, break the algorithm. So,
yeah, you can check out all the papers. We've been publishing one at a time, up to 28. I wrote 70 in a whirlwind between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And on the day after Christmas, I stopped, and I haven't written again about it in terms of math. but I've been learning the math so I can understand what I wrote, because I just did these derivations following rules that chatbots helped me do. And then other chatbots help me test to make sure it's wrong. It's very easy to ask a chatbot to tell you you're wrong. If you are, they will tell you right away. It's one thing they're really, really, really good at. But
that gets us to the question of the day: can AI be trusted?
not as far as you can throw it. But derivations you can trust because they start with invariants and they move through logic.
That just I don't know if that made Sean happy or if he's aroused. I don't know.
Maybe both. I don't know.
That felt good. Did I just say something crazy or awesome? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm looking
real
at this
quick.
Hitler's frozen base.
yeah,
That's what Andrew. Yeah.
cool.
Thank you
This
for
is-
blowing
Cool.antarctica.com.
that up, actually, because I can actually.
It's all right.
Is
I
it- wait,
know
is-
it's a little hard to read.
Wait,
It
is
says
that Spookopedia? You guys ever read Spookopedia? That's
no, it's not. It's cool.antarctica.com, but it says Hitler's frozen base. The fact that an opinion has been widely held as no evidence. That's not. It's just a quote. But in the late 1930s, the Nazis showed an interest in Antarctica and sent an expedition to survey a part of it and claim it for Germany. The claim was not continued, but it sowed the seeds for a whole range of fantasies about secret things that might be going on. It's just a whole article about the history, but it's called Base 211, and you can look it up. It's on YouTube. It's really kind of interesting to learn about.
Now check this out. I've been seeing a lot, and like, don't get me wrong, man. A lot of this shit you got to take with a grain of salt, you know. But there's like a lot of stuff out there now that says there's parts of Antarctica that are like off limits. You can't go. You can't fly there. You can't have submarines there. Whatever it is, you just can't be there. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation. I'm saying question everything. That's all.
That's
It's a really good piece of advice.
Nothing wrong with being skeptical.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
Because
knowing's
guys-
okay until it's not, you know?
Stuff where like there's places in Antarctica that aren't allowed and you can't do this or that. And some of it is some of it you really got to laugh at because it's it's a lot of the flat earthers, and flat earthers are hilarious,
Right.
because if you ever really talk to a real flat earther who's into it, they can really make some compelling arguments. They really can. I can't like deny
It's like-
their arguments, but
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But really, I'm like, damn, dude, that actually sounds like
But-
there could be
It's,
something.
it's
maybe.
like
Well,
the
yeah,
loose
but-
change people.
And the trouble is when people start failing to inspect their own reasoning with the same skepticism they take towards the things they're skeptical of.
But hold on. What about the curvature out there on the horizon? When
That's
it's
what you
flat.
trust, man. That's the
Yeah.
beauty.
What about when it's flat and in a field in the middle of
What if
Kansas?
the void isn't even
Where is the-
absence?
Where is the curvature?
What if
Well,
in
void
it's
is
Kansas.
not
not
a cube.
the curvature is all around you, man. Look at the rocks and trees. Those aren't fucking flat.
These nuts.
Hey, my cats would knock us off this planet.
They would
It
too.
isn't a cube, okay?
Really
That's all
would,
that
actually.
matters.
Everywhere. The curvature is what makes your smartphone screen feel like something other than complete liquid, no friction, nothing. It scrapes. That's curvature.
It's on the internet. It must be true. AI said it, so it must be true.
William,
It is.
right.
It is.
love that.
Don't trust anybody, man. Find out for yourself.
I'm so glad William came on the space last Saturday. That was cool. I did a space with some other people or whatever, and he showed up and kind of like explained some of the blockchain stuff that I had questions about, even though I'm still retarded about it, but that's irrelevant.
You know you
you're
can use the
smarter, you're
blockchain.
smarter for saying that. And I understand why you did it, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't brag
Yeah.
yourself, man. That is
It's
You know
like-
you-
I
it's
would
called
I would
humility
put it-
as hygiene for vision.
I always put it over this way. It's like sending a text message, right? Once you send it, somebody in China or somebody in Russia see that the text message is real, then it will send. It's not duplicated, and then they confirm it, and then someone else confirms it, and that way everyone knows that there's no way it's been faked. That's how I always
And
try
then-
to explain
Yeah.
block stuff.
And then this will make your heart warm too, Sean. You can actually tokenize it with privacy coins, tokens on the blockchain, and back it with silver and gold.
Now we're talking. Now we're
Yeah.
talking. You speak my language with precious metal. That's me. That's, I have a hard time with the digital stuff.
You also made William's day. But he was sicker than a dog that day. So I'm glad I'm glad that Sean's
I got it
old
down.
man.
I'm not getting sound anymore. Be right back.
All right.
Yep.
Oh no.
Well,
He's in
hey,
trouble.
while we're waiting on him, do you want to watch this Enneagram video, Sean? It's about 8 minutes long. See if it sounds accurate to you. You don't have to watch the whole thing. We're
Wait,
just
what?
waiting on him.
8 minutes long. No.
People fight you about believing in the potential for even the wayward to be good are the people who are telling you to abandon God. Yeah. Go figure.
Okay.
Go figure.
Maybe we'll
Words
watch
of
that
wisdom.
at the end of the
I wish
episode.
we had
The heresy right there.
yeah.
Speaking through whatever the hell I am.
This is where we actually need to be in the World Blockchain Roundtable studio so we can pull Greg's image.
I hope you don't hear David
Quote.
Bowie freaking out right now. He's like full retard upstairs. I'm sorry if you hear that. That's my
No,
dog.
you're fine.
David Bowie doesn't live here. That's just my dog.
David Bowie lives there.
Well, still, poor guy.
Yeah.
David
Bowie did not.
machines until they break, and then they torture us.
Well, I mean, David Bowie's my 105-pound pit bull. So, like, if somebody tried to F around, they're going to find out really fast.
Right.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
But David Bowie
love
gets his
pit
ass
bulls.
kicked by Little Penny.
No, she's a sketchy one. Dude, I'll tell you guys a funny story. Lighthearted shit right now. So I rescued this dog, not this past Christmas, but the one before. She's a rescue, 10 weeks old, and she's just a little chunk butt, dude. She was so cute. And my beard was a little longer, and she was biting it and whatever. I was like, you bite my beard, you're cool, man, because my old pitty used to do that. They told us she was a boxer in a lab. She's over a year old now. She stands up maybe to my knee at best and weighs 30 to 35 pounds. So, but she is sketchy and keeps up with Mr. David Bowie like you wouldn't even believe, man. Like she is hardcore, typical like Napoleon complex, small doggo, whatever. Anyways, back to business.
Drop that link there, Andrew. You've been waiting patiently.
I know. I like.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was just, like I said, we don't have to watch the whole thing. Just tell me if it sounds accurate to you, Sean.
Good piano.
If you're a 469, this energy now is moved from the intensity and the drama of 8, but there's a softness or a desire for peace. This person is also intuitive and inquisitive, wants certainty, wants to know what they can trust, but there's still this need for originality and expression coming from 4, while at the same time having the peace and the harmony and the gentleness. It's a fascinating combination because it's the type in each center that is experiencing doubt one way or another. The 4 has a lot of self-doubt. The 6 is struggling with doubting themselves and others and what they know to be true. And the 9 is trapped in the dichotomy of believer-doubter. Should they believe their positive idea about things, or did they find the little chink in the armor? So this tri-type is very sensitive and allowing and accepting and deeply intuitive, but they don't know what to trust, and in particular with themselves. And they often can be mired in indecision and become more passive aggressive than aggressive. Like with the 468, they'll go aggressive. The 6 is usually counterphobic in the 468. With this combination, the 6 is more often than not phobic. It can be kind of neutral. But this type is always wondering, who am I? Do I have all the pieces to understand who I am? Do I match my environment? Am I comfortable? Do I need to learn more, to understand things. What do I need to feel peace and harmony and answer life's questions? There's a tendency to need multiple sources of confirmation on any subject to have certainty. And it isn't just the 6. At times, this person can look like a 6 because of doubt. They need to be individualistic, but along with wanting to be individualistic, they want to be a part of and belong, even if they're not a social subtype. They don't want to be separate from others. The 9 brings in this desire to be included, but they're not really good at making that initial connection or creating the relationship. They want it, but their focus tends to begin with, do you see me? What do you see in me? And then they look at you. Whereas 468 is looking at you, looking at you, looking at you. The 469 is looking inside themselves. Oh, who are you? Who am I? What does this mean? And until I know that, I can't relax. And what they want to do is be able to cope and relax. Life mission, as a result, is to raise questions about the mysteries of life, seek consensus, and share your findings with others. So this is the true seeker. Of all the types on the Enneagram, this is the tri-type that is most focused on seeking and have the greatest difficulty landing on one answer solution or belief system. And we really need people that will continue to raise those questions. It can be a little frustrating at times for those of us on the outside when we say, make up your mind, or, you know, what is it you feel, or take an action. And this type is reluctant because the very strength of this type is to remain focused on the questions. They really want to know and discover what's truly important so that they have the opportunity
Pause it right here, Andrew.
to fully express themselves.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't see you because the QR code's in front of your face.
Then expand the damn screen. Anyways, this actually kind of explains. I know that we all have our perspective idea, like that centerfold for our Enneagram and our tri-type, but this can actually explain all 4 of us, and perhaps perhaps Matthew as well, who actually says that he's a 469 apparently, so he's seeing himself in this. So I'm gonna.
It's a really powerful tool, but it doesn't define you. It is good at defining you.
Yeah, I know what's funny is like that sounds like large part of the quote unquote liberty movement. Is like they know some stuff, but then they're looking for validity from other people. Like it's kind of weird.
Right. Well, we're trying to save the world from the people who came to lead us, which we elected all by popularity contest, which is how we did it in high school at homecoming. Do we want those people ruling the world, right? Like, that's what we got.
To be accepted one way or another. That's just human nature. That's what
that is human nature.
It's true.
Well,
but for people who need it, it's a little bit more than just a want, right? It's a compulsion. It's a precognitive compulsion. It drives your brain before your brain has a chance to address what it's being faced with.
Go on.
You get to an age you just don't care, and you're like, I don't care what you people think. Do your thing. I don't care. I'm going to do my thing. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone and stay out of each other's way. Like that.
That's what she's saying. She said counterphobic. That means you go against the grain. You don't go with the grain.
Right. So everybody you could agree with feels like you're lying to them if you're one of these people. If you agree with them and you don't actually.
Yeah, I mean
that's like me in shirts.
Zach and Sean are both 4 and 6s, so they're 66%. So,
but for everybody else, they just don't
friend. They just you can use the Enneagram to know how people are in advance, in order to if you're going to be more socially compatible with these people or not.
Yeah. Well, and I can teach you how to recognize when you're off base in a way that's just you and not like it's a really good thing at telling you how other people are reacting to the world different from you in a way they can't control.
You want to know how you can really read somebody for real?
How's that?
Hang out with them by themselves. Hang out with them by themselves and then hang out with them with a group of people. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get 2 different people. You will. I
Most
promise.
of the time, yeah. That's true.
Most of the time, you're going to get 2 different people because, and I've said this a million times, I actually prefer people as individuals rather than in a group, because groupthink is retarded. Like most groupthinks are like crazy. And then so many people want to be accepted that they fall into the groupthink and forget that they're an individual.
Right. Yep. Well, and you can't really get acceptance by not being yourself, can you?
Yeah. Yeah. So
what was William? Andrew, what do you think? What?
I know 66% of his is he's a 9-wing egg and he's a 7. I don't know what his worth and value is. I'm thinking this is just a theory. Would you? Could you
he's an ENRP when it comes.
ENFP, yeah. Could you define yourself as like an ambassador, William? Yeah,
all I'm going to say is find the guy that's the same guy and or gal, the same as an individual when you're just together as they are in a group. That's probably going to be a really good friend.
Being consistent, yeah.
And if you're an INTJ, find a girl that's an ENTP, and she'll rock your world.
Look, just go into the girls' medicine cabinets, and if you see a bunch of antidepressants, you're about to have a really good night. That's all I'm going to say.
or do what Sean says. I'm telling this.
That's particularly spicy because of how true it is, even if nobody who has experienced it wants to admit it.
I've lived a life, man. That's all I'm going to say. I've lived a life. So, like, look, man, the first thing you need to do if you go home with a girl, it'd be like, hey, man, can I use your bathroom? And then she'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever. And then you open that medicine cabinet, and you're going to know right
and
there.
And you see a bunch of ED.
And then you're going to be like, okay, this is going to go. She's either a psychopath or I'm about to have the best night of my entire life with this lady.
Or what if you walk in, open the medicine cabinet, and find a bunch of ED medication?
Then
she has a penis. Or she has a penis.
It reminds me of that meme where the guy is sitting there going into the girl's bedroom or whatever, and he looked at the picture and he sees it's like the ex-boyfriend or something like that. Okay, time to leave.
No. There's more to that joke. So, like, there's more to this joke. I actually know this joke. So, a guy goes home with the girl or whatever, and I can't even get it out. And so, he's in the room and they're in the room.
Get it up. You can't get. Oh my gosh, Sean, that's too much.
They're in the room doing the thing or whatever, and he looks up and he sees a picture of a gentleman right there, and he's like, "Hey, man, I didn't know you were married." And she's like, "No, that was me 3 years ago."
I wonder he can get it up.
So burner, dude, that hit me late. That was fantastic.
Unless you're Mike Cernovich. If you're Mike Cernovich, you'll just do it.
Oh,
just
boo and yay at the same time. Boo and yay at the same time.
Don't have sex before marriage, you guys. Don't do that.
Yeah. And if you do, get married afterwards and apologize for it.
So, Sean,
but if you get married and find out there's a phallus,
too late.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Forgive me, Lord.
That video we were watching.
If you do, it's okay. You just have to ask for forgiveness, man. It's all good. We can
God
screw
understands.
up. And we can screw up in ways that actually we're meant to screw up, and that's okay.
We're all broken in different ways, man.
Yeah, and we should try to heal each other from it if we can.
Is this based on XP? What's XP?
Experience.
W. It's probably W. No, it's experience.
It's experience.
I just wanted to.
It's W too. It's also W.
Never mind. No.
Go use legacy right at w.gg and don't use.
Actually, it's really funny. I saw that joke on a meme. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw that joke.
I think it's based on experience. I'm with Matthew.
Experience is fantastic because it comes to you right after you needed it.
Were you the type of guy that while you were 69 and a girl, her old dangly thing was hitting against your chin?
Oh my goodness.
dangly thing.
I don't know. Just
Like
go read Mike Cernovich's 2007
And see, now I have a dual image in my head that's like super positioned that has a tampon string in it somewhere. So please stop.
I'd like to think he's talking about roast beef, but
could be.
I hope so.
I could be.
I hope so. We're not
roast
talking
beef.
about anything really disgusting that should cause us all to retch our Cheerios, right? Just,
I like
sorry,
Cheerios.
that mental image is just not gone yet. I gotta close my eyes and think about bananas or something.
I wouldn't close my eyes and think about bananas at that point.
Nope. Like, or I don't know, Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. There we go.
Margaret Thatcher.
Lay back and think of England.
Some people actually get kinky on that one.
This is what happens when you
Think
snort
about that.
Dubby, guys. Don't do it.
Nice.
So one final question, everybody. Where does AI go from here with our Christian faith? And
We drive up
Andrew's
RAM
theism?
prices.
Do you want to start?
Yo, what?
We drive up RAM prices.
How about we go around the room?
agree.
Andrew, do you want to go first? We'll let Zach have the final
mean-
word since he asked the question.
I mean, I definitely see it as something that's trending right now, but I don't know if the trend's going to last for much longer. They've been building this for a while. They're going to bring something else up.
John,
I'm
do you
actually
want to go?
terrified what it's going to become. I really am. Because it literally knows, like, let's just put it this way. Privacy and intimacy, as we know it, will be a memory. It already is, really. Like, they know everything. You got your phones. NSA, what's up, man? NSA has been watching. The FBI has been watching. You know, they got it. But I'm afraid, well, let me put it to you this way. A couple years ago during the election, there was an AI video that came out. I've talked about this many times. And it was when all the Republicans were trying to run for president. And there was a video that came out of Hillary Clinton endorsing Ron DeSantis for president. And that video, unless you were really watching it, man, that video was good. It was real good. And I have a feeling that's going to be weaponized against us. They can make videos out of Greg, me, Andrew, Zach, whoever's in the chat. They can do whatever they want with this stuff. They got your face. As soon as you're on camera, dude, they have all your pictures, man. They've had them forever. All your little Facebooks, all your little Instagrams were all suckers for it. They got you, man. They got you by the short hairs. And so I believe it will be weaponized against us at some point, especially if you're in this world speaking out against the powers that be. There's going to be videos of me saying, hey, man, AOC for president, and here I am, the anarchist, going, fuck the government. Don't vote for anybody. But they're going to have a video of me saying AOC for president, and it's going to look really believable. And they might even have me walking down the road with her because some of these videos are really good, man. It's hard to tell. They are. So, like,
what if she is exactly what we need, though, for a collapse?
State power contracts is giving birth to something.
So can I take a different angle altogether on AI?
Yes.
Go
I
ahead.
think that right now the only part that we've got right is the A for artificial, and we've completely misunderstood the nature of intelligence with what we've done. These people are mistaking something that looks like intelligence, fluency, the appearance of meaning, for a machine that only shoots out numbers given a string of numbers, that happens to have a valid translation thanks to some weird geometry in the world that has nothing to do with what they programmed. They didn't program it to speak. They programmed it to predict strings from strings, given conversion into vector space. That is not thought. That is not what brains do. There's no math in here.
But can I push back on that and be like, dude, we're in a world full of sheep that will believe anything they see on the internet?
Exactly. That's the problem. AI fluency tricks us, man. It tricks us.
I'm gonna push back
for
on
all
that.
the world like intelligence. It looks for all.
I'm
the
gonna
world
push
like
back
intelligence.
on that one. Actually, we're not in a world full of sheep. We are sheep amongst a world full of goats.
Well, at least for all animals, so we can at least start there from common ground,
Mhm.
You
Go
don't
ahead, Sean.
promote Islam. Period. Oops.
Don't be a
Wait,
goat in Pakistan.
Can Iran use artificial intelligence? That's the question.
The first question is
yeah.
what's intelligence, I guess, and are we building it or are we building something else?
It depends on who
I
you ask.
think,
Because
yeah.
the 400
yeah.
pound blue haired chick who thinks that fucking men can get pregnant thinks she's really smart. So,
Right.
you know what
What
I'm
if
saying?
what if at the base level though, right? We've got it wrong. Like the thing that we're calling intelligence when we scan a brain is like just a bad map. And really it's doing something else entirely. We have no idea what it is. And what we've got is a result that looks sound. So we think we're onto something right when we're just onto something that works and they're different.
That's food for thought.
Yeah.
But who runs AI? That's this is my biggest qualm with it though, is who's in charge of AI.
I'm going to show you a computer program that can make you in charge of it after this call, man.
Yep.
You
can be in charge of it, but at the
that's
same
not the right
time,
frame. You're in charge of it.
yeah.
That's a responsibility, not a fucking tool.
And the difference of the powers that be that are trying to use AI and push their agenda and create what the illusion of intelligence for control purposes. What they're doing is the exact opposite of what we should.
They're
be
reprogramming the interpretation layer and not touching the machine because if they do, it breaks.
But how many
it only
people
works
buy
with a specific
something
kind of
because
math, man?
Actually, this is a good question by Free. I think he's half being satirical. But
many
how many people buy something because that's a celebrity on the commercial? I think people will be.
My suspicion is none. My suspicion is none. I think that's a ruse to get people to fear commercials rather than governments telling commercials what to do.
Sean?
Man, I think he hit the nail on the head because dude, look at all the shows on TV. You got your TMZs and your extras and all these fucking Hollywood nonsense bullshit shows that feed you nonsense propaganda.
Right. Brought to you post FCC approval.
Everything is consume. So, hey, man, if he has this, look, then you got to have it too. Or, if,
I'm loving it.
Sports player has it, Michael Jordan has it. I'm old, so, I'm not too hip to all the things. But, hey.
The devil's not working through Big Macs, man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, people do follow the celebrity. What are the musicians doing? What is Hollywood doing? People love that shit. They eat it up. Or they wouldn't have all these celebrities.
Does anyone love that, or they just tell us they love it?
What about you, Andrew?
Like the reports on it, the stats on it are all like shaped by the same people who shaped the lies. Reuters.
Who are the lawyers? Who runs the media anyway?
Right. No, exactly. Right.
The
Exactly.
attorney.
So how can we trust the stuff that we lean on if we don't want to lean on some of it because we know it's not trustworthy?
Because we should be leaning on each other rather than these asshats on TV.
Exactly.
The who controls the media
can't
is
be
not
taken as truthful no matter
think.
whether you like the message.
Yeah, it's not who you think.
Controls the mind. He controls the monetary system. Controls the world. Period.
What we set up, Sean, think about this for a second. What we set up by a rule that says, don't trust it when it's not useful, but the source is Reuters.
You can't trust
and we. Well, no, I mean, but we do when we say this APAC poll or AP poll or seemingly neutral fucking news agency says something like this, and it's helpful to our side. How do we know that's not them just trying to get us to bait the other side into coming at us with a losing argument?
There's arguments from everywhere.
Live long and prosper, William.
Don't trust
Andrew.
Them. Even when it's helpful, don't trust. Especially when it's helpful, don't trust them.
I don't
I'll bring up the question.
I don't
remember the
quote verbatim, but I sorry.
Oh, Max Turner.
If you read the read the newspaper, you're misinformed. If you don't read the newspaper, you're I don't remember the rest of the quote, but
you're smart.
That falls. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right.
You're based.
Well, they encourage you. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. So you might as well read so you're informed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is the trope, and that sounds to me like good propaganda.
Do you want to know what good propaganda is right now? I'm going to give you some really good propaganda. Read their propaganda, go down some rabbit holes and figure your way out, and then you can kind of make your own little in the middle.
That is freaking. that is near galaxy brain shit right there. That is.
Well,
That's
because
good
no,
advice.
seriously, because who's to say that the guy on Twitter that you know, who's to say that Dave Smith, we're gonna throw Dave Smith out there because I think he's a fucking fed. Sorry, not sorry.
I like that.
You say
I like
fed
Dave
or
Smith.
fag? Fed or fag?
I like Dave Smith, but I respect your
I
opinion
agree.
about people, so you can have that.
Well, I mean, he lost my I used to like Dave Smith a lot too, and then he sold off the Republican Party, and then was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I did that." No, you're not, dude. You knew exactly what you were doing.
He's the machine. He got eaten by the machine, man. The machine ate him. It was an accident.
Just like-
And you can't trust him. If you let the machine eat you, you cannot.
I don't trust him either. I like him, but I don't trust him.
Like, does he make some good points? Of course he does. But am I going to be like, take everything he says as gold now?
Dave's
Absolutely not.
Dude, we're not doubting you can't trust Dave. I agree.
Listen,
they're all
listen.
feds are
Dave-
controlled.
Dave,
I agree. We can't
Dave
trust
lost
Dave,
it.
man.
Yeah, Dave
I agree. We
lost
can't
it.
trust Dave.
Dave lost it when he got completely annihilated by Andrew Wilson. There, I said it.
He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's
No,
you know,
that's
a
sad.
covert
That's
actor.
sad.
If
That's
You
my
still
perspective.
like
They
Dave,
all are, dude.
if you still like
Anybody
Dave
who's
because you
looking
like
for
some of his ideas, just not
Why do
liking
you
the
think
guy
we
or
are
not
working-
liking the wrongness, right?
How many
Right?
views
What
do
about
you-
Michael Mellis?
How many views do you have right now on this show, Zach?
Too
Oh,
many,
right
maybe,
now,
or not
not
enough?
very, not enough.
Too
No,
many, not enough.
Well,
Yeah.
check this out. Now, Dave Smith could put out a show in an hour, and he's going to have thousands, tens of thousands of views or whatever,
Oh,
right?
of course.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
And
why
we
you can't
probably
trust him
literally
mathematically
put out
speaking.
better information than he did.
Right.
Just
And mathematically speaking, we're not getting boosted, and he is, and why is that?
because he got put there and we are not. We are fucking
Right.
out of
Because they made
Well-
an offer to him, and he accepted, and now he gets on the other side of the automatic boost thing.
You know what he is.
Well, everybody
You know
should go
what he
back to
is.
2012 Twitter where they just boost everybody
tra-
and there's no boost.
Yeah.
They should do that.
You know what he
trades in
is, though,
secrets.
right?
That's how
Then
he's.
we wouldn't be having
That's
this
how
fucking
he's
argument.
able to. That's
Is
how
he-
he's able to get the momentum he has is because he knows
Yeah.
people on the inside and he
Right.
plays
Deal
ball
with
to a
devil
certain degree.
accepted.
So,
But he's
so
also
he's a Jew.
all he
a
does
wolf
is
in sheep's clothing.
regurgitate Scott Horton stuff. He doesn't have
Yeah.
any of his own
Oh, I know.
ideas.
So a
Dude,
Jew.
you're absolutely
know.
right. You're
A
absolutely
Jew.
right. But
He
that said, I
steals
still
and
like him.
regurgitates.
I just don't believe him. I don't know. I like him still though.
Are we
I think
actually
he's a family man. He has people. He takes care of them. That's enough.
Yeah. That is enough. And God bless Dave for that, for taking care of his family. But at the same time, he's
Everybody
a Jew.
does it. Everybody does it. You just can't trust people who have an interest in taking care of themselves. Or
I've
their
never
loved ones.
sold out to anybody. That's why I stay in
Nope.
the bottom algorithm.
Exactly. But would you answer me this for your family, for your wife, for your kids, for your dad, your mom, your dog? Wouldn't you sell out the world
No.
and just
I
regret it? And just
No.
regret it?
No,
I would. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not going to do
That would be very hard to do, but I'm going to go to scripture on this. I did not
I don't know
come
if I
with
couldn't.
gifts, but to
This
bring
is
a
me.
sword.
This is me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but
I don't know
I
if
did not
that I
come.
could be as true
Yeah.
as my word, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's wonderful to think about that. But then at the same time, if we're going to get one with Christ, and Sean will probably say a literal sword, but I do not come in peace, but to bring a sword, and there's going to be division regardless. So when you stand alone, not everybody's going to come to your aid. So everybody is going to have their own needs, and that's just how humanity and society is all based upon. Cultures are different from each other, and that's basically what's the sad state of affairs of the world is we're all vying to compete with each and every one of ourselves from different ideas within the market, whether it's coerced or it's free flowing. Go ahead, Andrew.
This just reminds me of the situation that happened to Turkey, the Ottoman Empire and everything, and how eventually Christians just got completely removed.
I don't argue people I respect out of that very.
That's I respect. It's an expression of my respect for you that I deign to argue with you, man. I don't argue with people who I don't respect.
Look, man. Whether like
I love you, man.
I love everybody.
You're fucking great. You are really fucking great.
I want somebody.
I'm really glad you let me argue with you with such grace.
That there was never a moment that I thought I was better than anybody. I only wanted better for everybody. That was it.
And it's on your sleeve so much you don't even have to say it, man. That's the beauty.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you, until you give me a reason to not to. And then that's a
Yep.
different conversation.
Yep, it is. You're
But
absolutely
like-
right. But luckily, none of us are anywhere near that.
But like we're in a world full of grifters that are getting a bunch of money and getting seen and all this stuff.
Preach.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden
we should pray for them, man.
But like I do pray for them. I pray for people all the time. I pray for my enemies. I pray for the doctors who tried to kill me. I pray for Jews. I pray for Muslims. Believe it or not, I do those things. They're not my favorite people in the world, but I do. And I pray, I pray that people who do not know the Lord, that they find him. That's my prayer. For the people who are lost, may they find you, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ there's nothing better than that, and anybody who denies him is foolish, because we have too many receipts that it's real, man. And I can map it all out for you in a different time. You ever want to have a conversation with me? I will gladly have it. I'll never force my beliefs down your throat. I won't do it. But if you wanted to have that conversation, man, I'd be glad to have it for real.
Well, that sounds like an
conversations,
invitation for another
man. I
episode.
love conversations. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
hang out,
let's-
man. We
let's
should do it 2 and 2, where you and me just talk and pretend the camera's not there.
That
Nice. But with that, we're going to let that silver lining right there end it, everybody. So thank you for hanging out with us. For everybody that did, like this, subscribe to us over on YouTube, and we repost this, share this wherever, and let's get this out to the world.
These guys do good stuff. These guys do good stuff. Subscribe to this channel. Follow them. I swear to you, like I'm telling you right now, Zack Attack, when he says he knows history, you're not going to beat him at history. I promise you that, man. He's put me out a couple times on history. So yeah. And Andrew, geez, Andrew, man, Andrew's just like a walking encyclopedia. Greg, I just met you, dog, but you seem super smart too, man. So like, follow these guys, subscribe to their channel, man. My show's over. I'm done. So like,
thank you, brother. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for coming and giving us your time and your insight.
Of course, man.
You said Greg is smart.
I did say Greg is smart.
Over my head. Not just smart.
I have lots of words, and they're attached to lots of stuff. That's all I will say about myself.
I don't know. You go over my head, so that's pretty damn smart.
I'm working on that, man. I'm really working on that. That makes me dumb. I don't want to be over people's heads.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of patience.
Anything else to send everybody off, everybody?
That's it. Read it. Love it. Just read it.
That's a good one.
Just give it a chance. Just read it, man.
Listen to your fucking heart. Do what it tells you is right, and have courage before what fucking challenges you, and you'll be following God.
That's right.
Andrew.
You sleeping, dog?
Man, no. I really appreciate this conversation, guys. It's always really good, especially
I needed this more than you guys know. Like this is a rescue line for me. You have no idea. I was disoriented, and like vertigo was controlling my fucking axes. I was spinning, and I needed this. Thank you.
Amen. So, and to me, let's grow Andrew some hair, and Sean for that matter.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Maybe if you sprinkle W on it. Have you tried sprinkling W on it?
If you sprinkle W on your heads, you'll grow hair. But with that, have a good day, everybody. Have a good night. Bless you. And
thanks for watching.
Let us take off for next week. See where that goes. Peace.
Amen.
Bitcoin, baby.
Hey, yeah, this is Bitcoin. I'm back. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch. Flossing fast cars and rolling with my clique. The king of the rap shit, the real OG. Whack ass rappers got nothing on me. Bought another Lambo, 3 hoes inside it, 10 hoes in line, ready to ride it. It's Bitcoin, bitch. Keep the track bumping. Really on the plug. I got pies in the oven. 80 years old, and your baby mama fond of me. All she wanna do is smoke my broccoli. Private jets from Rome to Ibiza. Lisa, Jenny, Julie, and Maria. Every day I gotta give thanks. I got Bitcoins in the bank. Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch.
Bitcoin, baby. Oh,
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Bitcoin, baby.
The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Axe your grandmother. Verse 2, coming with the gin and the juice. Call me a drag, spit flame in the boot. I'm hot, like a thermos full of coffee. So hot, can't get the hose off me. It's true, I got the weed card and shit. I'm smoking like a motherfucking chimney, kid. Bitches love me, my shit's never whack. Tell these motherfuckers, Bitcoin's back.
Bitcoin, baby.
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Hot like hot coffee. Oh,
Axe your grandmother.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Get your hands in the air. Put your hands on the car. Put your 2 hands on the rock. Put your 2 hands on the rock.
Bitcoin, baby.